Indonesia is the most populous country and the largest economy in Southeast Asia. And considering that by 2030, Jakarta is set to overtake Tokyo to become the largest city on earth. And economists predict Indonesia will be the top economy leader in less than 10 years, but it depends on us. Are we able to make the prediction come true or not? Hello, I'm Rashid. This is 6 minutes talk, and for the next 6 minutes, we'll talk about Indonesia, which has been predicted by economists will be the world economy leader, and what the challenges that Indonesia will face to achieve that. But first, let's start with Indonesia's economy background. Indonesia and its economy are diverse, spread over more than 18,000 islands. And this is a great example of its geographical challenges, which is just essential to understanding Indonesia's economy. An archipelago spanning a distance equivalent to 1/8 of the Earth's circumference. The country has been blessed with a wealth of natural resources, or in economic terms, commodities. This list of commodities includes large quantities of oil, natural gas, timber, coal, and the list goes on. Luckily for Indonesia, the 2000s were the perfect time to cash in on commodities. As we see, the world has just been through a commodity supercycle, meaning in general, commodity prices were up as part of a longer-term trend. Also, the global economic growth has led by China, which became Indonesia's largest trading partner in 2016. Yet, this supercycle has pretty much come to an end, as China pivots its economy away from manufacturing and towards services. Another important thing that we have to look at is Indonesia's role in the global value chain, which shows Indonesia's industrial performance, which has declining since 2010. So you may be thinking, if it's a commodity exporter at the end of the supercycle and it isn't a key part of the world's value chain, how is Indonesia projected to be a top economy then? That's why Indonesia's demographics are crucial. First, Indonesia has a very large population, the largest in Southeast Asia and the fourth in the world. And that large population is a young one. The sheer size of Indonesia's population is a massive advantage. The growth of the labor force will also help stimulate Indonesia's economic growth and grow its middle class. It's estimated that around 90 million more middle-class consumers will have sprung up by 2030, bringing the consuming class to around 135 million people, which will make the growth of Indonesia's middle class the third highest in the world after India and China. And by 2030, Indonesia will be in the middle of a demographic golden window of opportunity where the productive labor force is at its peak. Equally important to this demographic trend is the nation's rate of urbanization, amongst the fastest in the world. For example, the size of its urban land increased by around 1,000 square kilometers between 2000 and 2010, second only to China. This will raise the proportion of Indonesians living in cities from over 50% today to 70%. However, these demographic changes have brought with them a set of economic challenges Indonesia will need to address. What are Indonesia's demographic challenges then? First, the rise in any nation population presents a challenge to policy and centralized planning, from school places to infrastructure to housing. Though the key challenge for Indonesia is the concentration of demand for things like roads, electricity, and sanitation, all in urban areas. Indonesia also struggles in creating enough high-value jobs to satisfy its growing labor force. And the next challenge which Indonesia have to deal with is investment. Investment play a huge role in any economy, acting as more than just the financial stimulus, but also providing new technology and ideas. This is where Indonesia's investment story takes a unique turn. The challenge Indonesia faces isn't that investment has been too low. Far from it, its investment has actually increased. The trouble is that this higher investment rate has led to lower growth. The reason for this is the efficiency of investment has fallen. because a lot of investment is focused on constructing new high-rises rather than infrastructure or machinery and equipment. And finally, Indonesia's archipelago layout with mountains and jungle make logistics a nightmare. You can't just build a train line from one part of the country to another. You have to build new roads, new railways, ports, offload on one island and transport to another. And remember, this is all within the country, expensive, not to mention that the country's infrastructure is still playing catch-up with its development. Now, to be fair, based on the current government's policies, it looks like infrastructure has become a real priority. As historically, it's fair to say that Indonesia had underinvested. Now, it all depends on us, the governments and the citizens. We have to be ready to use those opportunities to make our country to become the world economic leader, and we also have to be prepared to face those challenges, because we are racing against time and the demographic bonus will not last forever. Thank you and see you again.